In a row. What are the odds? Um, I am not going to be doing some guitar, but maybe I will. Maybe I'll do some spraying later on today. But I wanted to make a video about this repair that I'm doing because I think it's a really good opportunity to talk about a common point of failure in acoustic instruments. I'm going to move the camera so you can see it. This is a little guitar called guitar. It's a guitarlele, so it's in between a guitar and a uke. It's not tuned like a guitar, but it looks like a guitar, and it has 6 strings. Ukuleles usually have 4. I think it's tuned in A instead of E, but don't quote me on that one. I can look that up, but that's not as important as, or not relevant right now to the conversation that I wanted to have with you guys. Um, so what happened with this guitarlele is that the bridge came unglued. Now, the sad part about this, or what I have to shamefully admit, I don't know why I can't speak today. Maybe it's because I haven't eaten yet. Is that I actually repaired this already. I repaired this a week ago, and I used Tide Bond 3, which maybe is not the ideal glue for this repair because that's the type of glue that you cannot undo if you want to. But let's say that you would on a bridge, but yeah, it's not really the wood to be using for guitar making. It's more like for outdoor furniture kind of stuff. But it wasn't the glue that failed, it was the wood. So there's a lot of wood fibers all over the bridge. So what this tells me is that in the top, it could be that the grain is lifted here, meaning that this is not perfectly quarter sawn, and and it couldn't take, the wood couldn't hold the string tension. So what I'm going to do today, and that's why I'm making a video about it, is going to be a bit of a cheat code for an instrument like this. Maybe if it was like a really high-end instrument, it's not something I would do. If I was doing a repair on a Martin or maybe a Gibson guitar, I don't think it's something I would do. But on this one, I think it's going to be just fine. It's not an expensive instrument, and it's an instrument to be played plugged. My friend that owns it, she uses it on live situations mostly. So if you can see here, there's already a couple of holes drilled. Obviously, I have to clean this up before I try this. And I'm going to be installing on the other side pieces of wood to be able to screw the bridge aside from gluing. But I am not going to use this kind of glue anymore. I first obviously have to clean up the residue that it has now from the glue that failed, not from the glue that failed, from the wood that failed, and some of the glue that is on here. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to repair this using epoxy. Um, Somebody might say to me, no, epoxy is going to kill the tone. And you know what? You might be right. But again, this instrument is for live performances. So I don't think it matters how much volume she can get out of it acoustically. And epoxy it's basically going to saturate all the fibers that have been lifted from the top, and it's going to close any gap that it's for sure going to have because of the tear on the top. It's also going to reinforce the screws, so I think it's going to be the right move. But obviously, the first thing is first. I'm going to have to try to flatten this. Let's see if I can get a ruler to check for flatness, because there's a good chance that the bridge is warped. You know, I have to say, most of the time when I didn't ask her because I'm not trying to start a conflict. And in my repairs, I give you a warranty. You know, if I charge you to do a repair and within a week it breaks, of course bring it back. Of course I'm going to take care of it because that's just not right. Okay, it's straight this way, but it's got a shape like that way, which is really weird. Um, yeah, it could be that the top is also warped. The top is warped. Not too much, but it is warped. Okay, that's the problem. So what's happening here, another reason why to reinforce the top is that the instrument is buckling in. I think I've shown on other videos that I have here on the channel, because I make a small guitar model that my wife and I call Autumn Leaf. Uh, some of my reasoning why I use a spline inside the body, and it's exactly for this problem that occurs with acoustic instruments, and more so in really humid environments like the one that we live in here. Uh, the tension has to be held by the box itself. It doesn't have any more support, and the top has to be made thin so that it vibrates. So eventually, it just kind of buckles in. I'm exaggerating, but the top starts to lift and go this way. And there are some things you can buy out there to compensate that. There's something called the Bridge Doctor, which is a solution for an acoustic instrument, not acoustic instrument in general. For dreadnought guitars, it's a common solution that allows you to more or less rescue a guitar from you having to retop it. Because in the extreme cases, when the belly just gets too big, the only solution is to steam the top off and put a new one, rebracing and all that good stuff. So I don't think on the case of this instrument, such a repair is warranted because, again, it's not a high-end instrument. But I do think that adding some reinforcement here on the bridge is going to make a difference. Now the challenge is going to be for me, which I'm going to see what I'm going to do. I'm not 100% convinced I can do it without making some jigs. I'm going to have to make some jigs because my hand doesn't fit in here. I have really big hands. So obviously I'm going to have to make some jigs to be able to push a cleat against the back here, or maybe use magnets. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it with magnets. And that way I can add some reinforcement to the back of the top here, and then I can do this. So that is going to be my repair, and I suspect it's going to take me the rest of the day. But I wanted to make this video to more or less show my friend what I'm going to be doing on her guitarlele, and also to ask you guys, whoever watches the stuff in my channel, if you also do repairs, what would you do in my case? Do you think my approach is a good one, or would you do something different? Anyways, that's going to be it. Short and sweet, less than 8 minutes. Thank you for stopping by, and I'll see you guys on another video.